Hi guys, so let's talk about the Chapter 2 assignment. Okay, question number 1. What was the purpose of the SOX requirement of having at least one financial expert on the audit committee? Answer, this is not a requirement of SOX. Well, we know that this is a SOX requirement. It was on our slides, so this is not the answer. Let's skip down to this one. If a firm does not have a financial expert on the audit committee, they must disclose why. This is a true statement. However, does it have anything to do with the purpose? Does it actually answer the question? No. So that's the problem with this answer is, yes, this is a true statement, but it does not answer the question. It's not the purpose of the SOX requirement to have a financial expert. So now we're left with these two choices, which are quite similar. And the main distinction between them is this final phrase. So in this one, financial expertise is often necessary to fully understand the financial statements. And this one says financial expertise is often necessary to understand management's operational decisions. Now, when we went over the purpose of the audit committee, it was all about basically overseeing and monitoring corporate governance functions of the company and the financial statements. It had nothing to do with oversight of operational decisions. Now, to be clear, operational decisions are the kind of day-to-day decisions managers make to keep the company operating and hopefully in a profitable fashion. So if the company had two product lines, A, B, and C, and they're observing A is historically underperforming and B is doing really well, they might decide to discontinue production of product A and just focus on product B. Now that's clearly an operational decision, but it has nothing to do with the financial statements or corporate governance, which is really the purview of the audit committee. And so since this question is about what is the audit committee overseeing, the answer is financial statements, not operational decisions. Okay, let's move on to question 2. When Congress passed SOX, it imposed greater regulation on issuers and their auditors and required increased accountability, which the following is not a provision of the act. So in this case, the one thing we talked about that was not done by SOX was firm rotation. So this is the right answer. We said, yeah, the lead partner and the concurrent partners have to rotate every 5 years. Yes, we know the audit committee must have at least one financial expert. This one, that they can no longer provide expert services to their clients, we haven't actually talked about it yet either way. We will talk about this more in Chapter 19, what services are forbidden. And so in this case, if you saw D, an answer that had something that you didn't recognize, versus answer A, which had something we had expressly said was not a SOX requirement, you go with the answer that you know is expressly not a SOX requirement, not this mystery answer, right? Because this is, I know, and this one, I'm not sure, right? So I'm going to go with what I know, and I know that that was not a part of SOX. Last one was the audit committee must be made up entirely of independent directors. Yes, we did expressly talk about that as well, so I know that this is also true. All right, question 3. I don't even want to read it because almost all of you got it right. It is ASB. If you didn't get it right, I'd recommend just reviewing the slides in the lecture. Question 4, which of these is not included in the purpose section? So it's this one about planning and supervising assistants. This is part of the performance section of principles underlying an audit conducted in accordance with GAS. And the rest of these are indeed part of the purpose. So this was just to remind you, I told you to make sure you know what is in each of the 4 sections because you will see questions like this. And last but not least, which of the following best describes the role that corporate governance plays in a company? This question was actually right off I think it's like the second or third slide of Chapter 2, where it basically gives a slightly different version of this definition. These other statements are, again, they're true statements, but they're not answering the question. They're not describing the role corporate governance plays overall in the company.